other kinds of good shit.
Again, if anybody
on,
see
so
Brooke
just
Jers,
tune in. You never know what's gonna happen. You know,
we put out an Amber Alert.
This show.
Okay, the intro just started, so we got 2 minutes, and we are getting ready to go in. The intro is going now, Naima, so it should be coming up on the website momentarily.
So if you're visiting the website,
Those of you again who would like to watch it, as opposed to like if you will do a split screen thing, like maybe you want your Facebook available for something else,
right,
you can go over to gsradionorth.com and pull this up and set that over there so that it's right there, and then you could play with your Facebook and your Twitter and your Snapchat on the other side.
I think his watches. I think his sweater's a bit. Yeah, here we go. What's up, everybody? It's your man, DVS Mind, coming to you on another DVS Friday. Much love and appreciation to everybody who can play tonight. It is the Friday before the holiday. Many people celebrate as Christmas. Yeah, I don't know what that was about. The holiday many people celebrate is Christmas. So for all of you who are celebrating, we wish you a happy holiday. We thank you guys for joining us. And this is the end of the year. This is the last, not my last show. We have one more show this year, but this is the one where I wanted to bring like the team here so that we could, just powwow real quick before we get out of here for the end of the year. You know what I mean? Because there's so many different things we got to talk about. And a lot of times we don't have time, and it's the Freedom Team, and then we got High Tea. So I decided to bring the Freedom to High Tea, or the High Tea to Freedom, or however devious way. We're gonna have High Tea with Freedom.
And be free to have high tea.
And be free to have high tea.
I love
it. And boom goes the dynamite. So we are here tonight. Again, we are waiting on Brooke Jers to come in, but tonight right here, please welcome Just Joy and Lashae.
Hey, y'all. Hey. It's your one and only Lashae Andre. You already know. Host of High Tea, coming to sit down with Devious tonight on these Devious Fridays. And I really do appreciate you bringing me out, brother. As always, it's a pleasure. I'm going to give Joy some time to get out there, give a shout out to your people.
Shout out to, let me first introduce myself. I am Just Joy of Just Joy Media. I do internet radio. I host red carpet events. I attend any and every community event I can in the city of Newark. Shout out to the Bricks, as well as any place I'm invited. I cover award shows, celebrity stuff. Shout out to my church, Rivers of Living Water, and I'm so glad to be here. Waiting on Brooke Jers, the boss. Shout out to Megastar Radio, where I got my start, and I continue to be a soldier on the Freedom Team.
That's right.
Let's do it. I can't wait to get this show popping.
Hey,
that's what it is. So, for those of you who have been, hey, what's up, Slim Goody Grant and Benita? Sound like them, sis. For those of you who have been watching, obviously the news, this fool. And that's the only way I can refer to him right now, has signed us all into poverty.
Yes, deep breaths. Deep breaths.
I don't know the specifics of what it is, but because I can't bring myself to.
Haven't you stopped paying attention?
I have to.
Haven't
Like
you
I
stopped
tune
paying
him out. Like
you're desensitized.
every time
the
I
best
see
thing you
his
can do.
face. But you know what? And I said this, you know, when during the campaign, I was saying we give him entirely too much press.
We give him life.
We give him too much, and I think that is what has got us to this position. Am I wrong?
No,
Not
not
at
at
all.
all. And my problem is this: 45 since day one has been a problem for this country. We all knew from the beginning he did not deserve to be in office. The way that he won office was crooked and sideways in every way imaginable. The Republican Party will sell their souls to be in power.
Their children's souls.
Right.
Okay.
They will sell their children's souls.
And it's ridiculous the position that we're finding ourselves in as a country, and that everyone is acting as though we're powerless to do anything, or that nothing can be done as this man continues to flush our futures down the drain. The amount that he has added to, he's more than doubled the deficit. He continues to be completely ignorant of to pretend to be completely ignorant of the decisions that he's making and the impact that they're having on everyday Americans. So unless you are one of those people who are currently, like, you're in one of those corporations where corporations have now become people, and you're getting that upper echelon dollar, you're not benefiting from him being in office. This has been 365 days of pure bullshit, and it only looks to get worse.
Let me interject real quick. We're not even going to call him 45 anymore. We are going to call him 44 and a half because he's not even a whole president.
Yes.
Just Joy, you want to
He
go
has been
in?
demoted to 44 and a half.
This is what I will say, and this is the only thing I will say. I put on Facebook a while ago that you have to realize who you're dealing with in order to know how to deal with them.
Right.
This individual is a narcissist. The thing they crave the most is attention.
Correct.
Will say they will do anything to receive it. So I'm gonna end my conversation about it right now, and I'll get this doing no more life.
Exactly. I feel you.
I totally agree. I have no points to dissent on.
I know that's
on
right.
that. The only thing, like I said, that I continue to do is I continue to be attentive and to be aware, because at the end of the day, these things are affecting us. And the one thing that I want people to understand is when this tax bill got passed and got created, it was done behind closed doors. There was nobody ever got to debate this or have a word in edgewise. This was completely orchestrated by a demonic party, and they have left the children behind. There's a program called CHIP. I'm not sure if you guys are aware. If some of you are who out there are aware. There's a program that has always been funded. This is a bipartisan thing, similar to like how Ryan White has, that program has always been funded. And what CHIP does is help to provide health care for children who literally just can't gain access to the level of health care that they need. And these kids who are terminally ill, kids who are dealing with cancer and all kinds of other ailments that, we could put money into solving those problems and making sure that we're really alleviating some of the pain that these children are feeling. And right now, there are certain, I'm so mad I forgot the numbers, something point million amount of children that are in danger of losing critical health care benefits in weeks, not even months from now, within weeks from now. If this country does not do something to make sure that they are provided the funding that they have always been provided. This has never been an issue for Congress or Senate, and all of a sudden these kids are left out to dry. So as much as I don't want to give him any limelight at all, I want you all to be aware of what is taking place and how that affects you. I want you all to at least get into the details of this tax bill and see how it's going to work for you and how it's not going to work for you. And just be aware of how things are going to affect you. Because right now, they are depending on us to be desensitized and checked out to his bullshit. They're depending on us to be ignorant to change and to thinking that we can't do anything. They have made you all feel as though protest isn't an avenue that you can use safely anymore. And if the Constitution is really going to be of the people, for the people, by the people, y'all asses better get up and do something.
Listen, there was a video that I saw on Facebook earlier today, and there was obviously a protest outside of, Congress and everything like that when people, they were protesting this thing, and a lot of people were arrested. The one thing that I noticed, most of the people who were arrested didn't look like us. Now, why that's important is because I think people who look like me are going to be the most affected, by and large throughout this even though we may not make up the majority of the population allegedly, but as far like when it comes to our indigent population, we are people who need those services. Kids too, because kids is the largest population of indigent, and there were no it's almost like we don't care. It's like we still believe that it doesn't affect us. There was just one girl who was of color in the whole thing, but she had on a hat and she had blonde braids coming out of the hat. I'm not sure.
She was there.
I'm sitting there like, okay, I don't know what that means exactly, but I'm like, oh, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I didn't even hear that there was going to be this situation. I didn't even know. And most of them were like older white people,
right,
who were getting arrested for this. So they understand the severity of how it's going to affect this entire country. Like you were saying, Lashae, the kids.
They won't. The sad thing is, for so many of us, and I get it. I honestly get it. You're struggling to put food on the table. You're struggling to take care of your kids. You're struggling to make sure that they got food in their mouth. They got a roof over their head. A lot of this politics shit, you just don't have the energy or the time to invest in. But the problem is, we as a community and as a country can no longer sit back and just check out and wait for it to become our reality before we want to do something. Because, everybody's, impeach Trump, and trust me, I'm on the bandwagon too. But I need y'all to also understand, if Mike Pence becomes your president, that demon is even worse than the one that we fighting now.
Listen.
That's a whole nother dragon.
So I want to add this. I want to add this to the table.
Mm-hmm.
And it's controversial, and I'm going to hear a lot about it, but I really don't care.
Oh, that's what we're here for.
Right.
I don't care who the president is. I don't care if it's this one. I don't care if it's that one. I don't care if it's the one from 2 times ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, I'm responsible for my household. I'm responsible for my community. And no matter what decisions are made, although they may impact me, if I stay true to my core and do what I'm supposed to do, the taxes won't hurt as much. I know how to survive. I know how to keep food on the table. Right. I've been doing it. Right. I know how to put $7 worth of gas in my truck. I've been doing it. So a lot of these things affect people, but at the end of the day, they don't make a difference.
Right.
The hood hasn't changed.
Right.
Nothing about it, no matter who was in office, hasn't nothing.
Right.
So, the healthcare is important that we keep. It's important that we keep a lot of services that are being taken from children. Adults with disabilities are losing Medicaid and Medicare. All of that stuff is important. But at the end of the day, the best way to combat, no matter who isn't, because at the end of the day, 2 things can happen. We can either benefit or we can be at a deficit.
Right.
We've never benefited.
Right.
So the only option that we know is that we will be at a deficit, and we know how to get through that.
Right.
So while we need to be educated on what's going on and why it's going on and how it's going on and where, we need to focus our energy on being prepared in our communities, in our homes, in our households, no matter what.
And what I can say that I'm seeing across the country is communities waking up. Communities are waking up. People are becoming more communal. People are understanding the importance of depending on your neighbor and creating that neighborly feeling.
Shout out to the Brick City,
who
has had an amazing year in 2017. I don't want to skip to the wrap up. Listen,
yeah, because that's what
I love my city so much. I don't even want to wait.
Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that, because I want. That's what we were going to next.
2017 was so amazing for the city of Newark. Shout out to everybody, the politicians. Shout out to everybody in the hood, all the teachers, everybody that does media, entertainment, Newark International Film Festival, to everybody running for office, the mayor, every toy drive, every coat drive, everything Tiny Champagne's been working on. I can't even
Newark
mention.
Pride.
Newark is burning, y'all. And that's good and it's bad.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we know this Phoenix will rise, and I'm so proud of my city. 2017 was just so amazing. I'm looking forward to what else we're going to be able to do.
I agree.
I hate to skip to that part, but I just didn't.
No,
That's
by all
okay.
means, I agree.
And I need to shout out to Tanya Belts and Ramin Belts. Much love and appreciation. You
Treehouse
guys,
Cares, Treehouse Cares.
listen. I'm telling you, if you don't know anything else, that's the name you need to know, because like Just Joy was just saying, we in the hood, we gonna find a way to take care of each other, and that's just exactly
and like
what they
Lashae
have been
said,
doing.
We are getting
For
together
real.
more often
We
and
are.
more often, more hands together, and it's been amazing.
It's beautiful, and two, I'm seeing it, and where I have faith at is what really shook me has been Virginia and Alabama. For Virginia to put a transgender individual into political office, baby, Virginia, y'all know what y'all got going with y'all. I ain't even got to say shit. Y'all already know.
They always have been.
And we all
Listen.
understand, like, you know, when you traveling down I-95 to get to your family house for the holidays, your ass drive the speed limit in Virginia for a reason.
Word.
Excuse me. So, Virginia, you know what you got with you. But y'all doing some shit that's really shaking Virginia up right now. And in case y'all haven't known, the Democrats are in the position to break a 17-year hold of power in Virginia. So this is some big shit that's going on there. Alabama. Okay.
How them people came out.
How them people came out and showed out and
Listen.
made sure that child molesting bastard did not get elected.
Nowhere near it.
Nowhere near that office. I want to thank you, Alabama, because
Thank
you
you,
were the
Alabama.
one state that I mean, honestly, it's a lot of cousins kissing cousins, and I was scared and nervous about shit that y'all was going to do. Y'all know me. I call a spade now.
But you know what population really came out and made a really big difference?
The
in
black
that?
women?
The black women. Shout out to every black woman who left work with their work shoes on, waited in line, had somebody else pick up the kids, had the kids with them.
Okay.
Dinner was late. I don't give a damn if we gave them McDonald's. Shout out to every black woman
Yes.
in Alabama who said, not mine. I promise you,
That's
you
right.
made such a difference. This country will never be able to repay you.
Right.
And it's just the beginning of other states that are standing
Right,
up
the
saying, "We
chips
not
will
having
fall,
that.
the dominoes
It's
will
over.
fall, and
It's a wrap.
I'm so glad to see. And I'm not saying that the Democratic Party is your rescue. I'm not saying that's your savior. I'm not saying they're gonna come and pull you out of this shit. But if there was ever a place that you could find to work with or work in, if there was ever an enemy that you could sit at the table with and come to a compromise with, I definitely think that the Democratic Party has presented itself to be that. And the fact that they are the only ones who are honestly stepping up right now and combating the shit that's going on, because for all of the Bernie Sanders motherfuckers that burned flags and bitched and wooed about him not being in, okay, I don't see a single fucking independent trying to do shit around this country. So I really want to give a shout out to the Democratic Party for trying to at least get in the way of this boulder that is falling down the hill on this country. So, and that's all the damn politics I want to talk about today. I'm just saying.
Much love and
You need a little
appreciation.
bell.
I
You
think.
need a little
Right,
bell
you
to
need-
ring.
yeah,
Because it's high tea, you sing.
Yes.
Ding the bell and it's over.
Word.
It's a wrap.
Much love to Iris Goodhart Johnson, Armand, Stephen McCaster, Charles Spann, Shakira Raleigh, and my mother is on here. Ava Boy, what's going on, Mama?
Hey, Mama Ava.
Hey.
Oh,
Merry
hey.
Christmas, Mama Ava.
Happy Christmas, Hana Kwanzaa to him.
And everything. Inshallah.
Christmas, Hana
can't.
Kwanzaa. Yeah,
I can't. But again,
Whatever you
Just
say.
Joy was
Shout out
talking
to my
about
mama.
some of the
She
things that have
probably-
happened in the city of Newark. For those of you who do not know, the city of Newark is undergoing massive transformation.
Yes,
Huge.
God. In so many
Along with the
areas.
massive transformation, there is massive gentrification.
Yes,
there
they
is
done gentrified the
massive,
crackheads.
you know,
didn't even know that.
architect,
I knew.
every type
You
of
noticed
thing.
it, right?
Yeah.
I-
That-
You can't find a good fiend
Can't
mechanic
find-
these days.
okay.
Right.
The fiend mechanic you used to could count on ain't even where he used
Right.
to be at. You don't know where, and you know he not locked up.
Right.
But you can't find.
They done
Sorry,
gentrified.
my
No,
bad.
it's
Shout
okay.
out to all my mechanics
It's
that
okay.
do everything for $25.
Hey, you're necessary and you need it. I don't care what you do with it. You fix my damn car, so that You grown. You pick your business.
Oh,
I'm
Go
just
ahead.
saying.
PS. That's a mechanic right there.
I'm just saying. Damn.
Certified.
I'm just,
Yeah, she is for real, for real.
I just want to say shout out to
Girl.
the black women in this room.
gotta-
Goddamn it, they
Who beat King?
ain't playing
Get a
no
round of applause
games.
for them. They straight up put it down.
Yes, no, Nicole. Seriously, they
Y'all
gentrified the
put
crackheads.
it
North.
down. Yeah, but
No,
for
they
those of you
gentrified. I
who
can't find a good black crackhead to save my life. I done seen so many poor white people at Checkers and
Oh my
everywhere else.
God.
I'm like, where the fuck
you know
did y'all
how
come
it used
from?
to, like, if you stop at a light, so you know the people who panhandle will come over to your car.
Yeah.
They're all white now.
I don't. When did that happen?
They are all white
They
now.
take everything from us.
Like-
they take hip hop from us. They take jazz from us.
They
now
took
they want to
poverty
take our
from us?
crackheads
Right
too.
now they want to
I'm
take
sa-
our crackheads and our
How do
poverty.
you take the
Can't
poverty?
we have
Bad
shit?
enough they got their own meth heads. Now
Right.
they want our crackheads.
Oh well, now.
I refuse to
But
stand
see, now
for it.
that's the other shit that I'm glad you brought up because I definitely want to talk about because it
Sorry
pisses
about
me
that,
off that
y'all.
now we have a medical crisis in America. Now that all of the
The
beige
opioid
people have
addiction
decided
process
that
in
they
New
want to
Jersey.
start being high in the middle of the liquor stores and everything
You
else.
can find help.
Right.
NJ Reach will help you in your opioid.
Call
addiction.
us. Our fat
here.
ass governor,
have to do
former
is reach
governor,
out.
who was addicted to donuts, will now get you into rehab. Meanwhile, they locking our black asses up left and right. But you can come into the hood, Suzanne, get you an 8-ball and then go to rehab. It's okay. Because we have a medical crisis with you.
NJ Reach.
I'm just, because you know them names. Mary Jane, Rebecca, but you know, Betty, Sarah. They're all around now.
I'm not playing with Lashae no more.
I'm just saying.
I'm like, where we going?
But for real, like
I'm
there's
sorry, I have moments.
a lot going on. I don't know if Amazon has, if they've won the
Amazon has
contract.
taken over the fucking world.
True, very true.
Amazon at this point, you can go on Amazon.com and get any goddamn thing.
Yeah, you really can. But I think they were bidding to come here. Mars, the candy company, was bidding to come here. We already have Prudential and Panasonic downtown.
We have more than enough room.
The
What is the shit that they
CIA
building over there on South Orange Ave across from GKV? Is that going to be like a new power plant or something?
What's GKV?
Georgia King over by Georgia
okay.
King?
Don't do that. I'm old.
You changed.
Yeah, they done gentrified DVS. He don't
They
even know
did.
what, he don't know what GKV is no
I
more.
need somebody.
I'm gonna just talk to
do
y'all.
Sit-
I'm not gonna talk.
I need 3 slots and a door because what's a G?
I wasn't thinking on my feet. Is all. It ain't like I
You
forgot.
changed.
And
That's
if you
because your
go,
feet in the
and if
Acura
you
now.
go over
Oh,
there, they
okay.
actually changed Georgia King Village.
Yes, they did.
Honey, I
They
changed
gave
so
that
much.
the facelift of
Listen,
life.
listen,
They got a paint job and a
Listen.
new parking lot.
Let me tell you something.
It's bananas over there. Like y'all
I'm
need
not
to come
afraid to
check
tell
this
y'all I
out.
changed. I changed so much. I don't go by Georgia King Village no more.
Ooh,
I can't even do it.
I still go to Manny's. I
'Cause
can't lie.
let me tell you something. It's one on the border of Newark and Elizabeth. The rice just as soft as it want to be. It's not worth it to me. I love my city, but let's not act like we still don't have a few problems.
Right, we do.
And not for nothing, it's safer to be.
Well,
some
I
places
will.
and not
I
safer
will
to be
admit,
some
I
other places.
still only go over there during the day when the sun is high in the sky and the
Let me
police
tell
are
you
parked outside. Some things have not changed, but that's always been the west side, and I ain't never really been too comfortable over there.
I'm West Side till you die, but what I'm not about to do.
Because y'all know Huda. Look, I love Huda, but y'all know y'all been crazy since all get back. And they moving real. All the other hoods, the South Side don't even look like the South Side no more. South Side look like it's Harlem or some shit. They moving.
Yo.
They trying to change that shit to a New York borough or something.
Weekway, the
I
Elizabeth
love it.
Avenue
I
area
love it.
is undergoing a lot of transformation with a lot of the old skyscrapers and
Right.
stuff, the real tall
love
apartment
the
buildings and
murals.
things. And you can bet in a couple of years it's going to be luxury housing overlooking
Oh yeah,
the
you
park
can't
type
afford to get a damn apartment in the city of
situation.
North to
You
save your
really
life.
can't. Like if you have it, if you don't already live here, it
you single?
is gonna be so
could be
difficult.
double.
Like
Okay.
studios are now starting at $1,200 in this city. Like I don't, and
Who you telling?
it's very much a push out for people. For a
It is.
lot of people,
It
for a
is.
lot of people who've lived here for a long time, it's definitely a push out when it comes to trying to find affordable housing. There are people, and when we were talking about subsidies and things like that from earlier, these are some of the things that are going to
Cole,
be
I'm with that.
affected when these are no worries, Shamaka. These are some of the things
Hey,
that are going to be
Shamaka.
affected with tax cuts and all of these types of things. So if you have subsidies for housing and stuff like that, you might want to start looking for a more affordable neighborhood if you have been living in the city of Newark for the past 30 years, because it's about to go down. Hey, what's up, Aaron?
I'm just, I love seeing all these beautiful murals and everything painted around the city. I love seeing the city really get this uplift that it's needed for such a long time. I love seeing these young people willing to come back home from college and to get back into the city and to plant their feet and to want to be here. What really hurts me is that we are not carving out a space or making enough affordable housing available for the people who created this culture, the people who create this city and make all of this art beautiful and imaginable. You're exporting them and importing their culture and their beauty and their art, and that's really fucked up. But again, uplift is always a double-edged sword. And
speaking of uplift, I'm gonna go ahead and jump in. So my problem is this. I don't have a problem with the gentrification. I don't have a problem with rents becoming unaffordable. I don't have a problem with paying double for something that we used to only pay half for, because I've always known the value of the city of Newark.
Right.
Most people have. That's why when the Jews left, they didn't sell anything. That's why when the Italians left, they didn't sell anything. So these people are simply coming home, and they simply knew the value of what we didn't know, right? So my issue is, why aren't we making more of a push to be able to still afford to live here? And it's not necessarily working another job or taking in a roommate. Why aren't we making sure that we're just doing better so that we can stay?
For those of you who follow me, sometimes I be, doing that ride share situation thing. And there was a woman who I picked up one night who works downtown at Audible, which is the Amazon Audible books branch of Amazon, where they do the books that, somebody is reading it to you.
Alexa.
Yeah, that type of thing. So she was telling me that she used to live in Brooklyn and she moved over here because Audible, I think, subsidized her coming over here or something when they came over here. And the person who's over Audible actually wants to keep it in the city of Newark. But what she said to me was that one of the reasons that she left Brooklyn was because of the gentrification. And she said pretty much what you're saying, Joy. She said her problem wasn't that there were other people who were coming in. Her problem was that she didn't know whether to feel angry about people coming in or angry because we let them. Like, there was nobody. Why didn't anybody say, look, we got to get this property, we got to keep it here in the community? Nobody did that, but everybody bitched and moaned about the fact that, like you said, Lashae, everybody's coming home because they, trust and believe, they didn't sell the properties.
Never did.
They understood, like Joy said, the value in being in this situation and being in this city. This is a port city that has an international airport. You can't get more access than that. So they understood that even way back then.
You can commute to New York in less than half an hour.
Listen, it is not like people always talk about, this area like it's something bad. You would be surprised the amount of things that are going on here and have been for a very long time. But we have not taken advantage of this situation. Now, for all of the people who have done community involvement and uplift and things like that, that's one of the things. If you know somebody who can do this is something that needs to be done immediately. We need somebody to come and teach us how that real estate situation works. How to, I know there are people who buy houses and flip houses and stuff like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about taking back your community type of situation, not just flipping the houses so that you can make money. Teach all of us how to do that type of thing. If you're in a rent to own house now, what do you do if you want to do so? How do you get more property? How do you make it so that
financial literacy?
Thank you.
Is exactly
the short version.
Financial literacy is exactly what you're speaking of, and I do agree there need to be definitely more forums or more spaces where financial literacy is being taught and available. But I'm a big person on self-ownership.
I'm thinking the same. You read my mind.
I'm a big person on saying Stop waiting for people to give you shit, which is, I think, a major problem in the communities of color. You think that everything is supposed to be come and dropped off to you because of what our ancestors went through. That was their blood. That was, he's outside now. That was their blood. That was their situation and issue. I got you. And what you have to realize is it's time for y'all asses to get up and start fight. There you go. All of us to begin looking and seeking out this information. It's readily available. You can get financial literacy classes for free in many a place. So you need to make yourself
even if
more
you
aware.
have to start with literacy classes.
Right.
Because when you speak about things that we need, tools that we need, we assume that everybody has the basics that we have.
Right.
We assume everybody has at least a high school education, and that's not always true.
Right.
So if you need to start with literacy classes before you get to financial literacy, then please do that. If you need to do stuff like listen to radio shows on GS Radio North and Megastar Radio, and if you need to listen to High Tea and like and share this, then that's what you need to do. Because when it comes to self-ownership, one of the things that's been really, really heavy on my spirit this whole year is I cannot continue to work to make somebody else rich.
Right.
Every day I go to work, I'm working for somebody else's dream.
Right.
I'm making an eighth of what they're making off of me.
Right.
And 2,500 other people at this employment agency.
Mm-hmm.
So I love my job. Shout out to what I do, and I love my work. But I'm never going to be rich. I'm never going to be financially stable. I'm never going to be free. Right. And I'm adding to this infrastructure that I say I don't like. So it's important when you talk about self-sufficiency that you include ownership. I don't want to quote Hov on that 444, but he said,
you get out my head.
This is you was in my head first, so now I'm just giving you your space
right.
back.
Yeah, there you go. Get it.
You got to rent your neighborhood, take the money and, like DVS said, flip the house, but also flip the storefronts.
Right.
Also flip the nail salon.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Also flip the car wash.
Right.
So
all of that.
Flip the apparel shop.
Mm-hmm.
Flip where you get your hoodies and your fitteds from.
Okay.
Shout out to Arrow Cloud. Fit what you wearing. Make sure if you buying clothes, let it be your own brand. Shout out to Brooke Jers.
Let's pause a minute and introduce our brother Brooke Jers, who just showed up.
Y'all already know.
Much love and appreciation, my dude.
Hey man, listen.
Thanks for joining us, my brother.
To the bar.
Better late than never. You here?
Right.
You here? So we are in the middle of talking about the issues that we often talk about, taking back the community, the gentrification that's going on largely in this particular area, and all the things that people are trying to do to uplift this community, but at the same time, in a way, seem to kind of push us out. But at the same time, we are letting it happen. It's basically am I wrong? This is where the conversation is going. So,
all right, I was listening to Open Line last weekend. Shout out to the mayor Ron Baraka. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody on BLS and everything like that, right? He was on BLS last weekend and he was talking about his whole thing and letting people know that you have to cite the good that's happening in New before you can criticize the bad. And at the end of the day, there is more cranes going up in hoods that wasn't going up before. There is new building going on. And the provisions that he's making is that, minority companies have to be on the developing floor. And the developing floor and brothers working on the construction site is two different things. Let me cite that first and foremost. You could see your cousin working on the site carrying the garbage pail with rocks in it and everything like that. But is he per day labor or is he with a minority company
and unionized
and contracted?
That he's getting benefits and things like that he's really feeding his family with a consistent check.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the provisions that Ras Baraka was stating that is that the majority of these companies that's building new projects in Newark has minority developers on the ground floor, developing companies like they're part of the blueprints, from the ground up. And for that fact that a mayor in a major city is taking a conscious step to make sure that happens. is
That's
something
big.
To be commended.
That's big
Right.
things.
There's so much to be commended. If
Shout
you
out.
ask me, when it comes to the mayor, the honorable mayor of Newark Ras Baraka and his entire administration, there's so much going on. People work so hard. I've seen him, we've seen him, the Freedom Team, Megastar, Just Joy Media, in the community, any event, every event, no matter who is benefiting, who's giving it. Again, in 2017, not only is Newark on fire, but if you ask me, the mayor's on fire. I've seen him everywhere. Just recently, he had his community holiday dinner at George Washington Carver for the homeless. Gave out coats and hats and Vonda's food. Shout out to Vonda's Kitchen was catering. Do It All Kelly. Shout out to Do running for office. He had Common in the building, Fabulous in the building, Mace was in the building. I don't even want to forget about it. Charlamagne the God, DJ Envy. You know, all these people came out because they all also know the value of Newark.
Right.
And they also are on board with all the good things that are coming into and out of this city. So I just hope that we take more pride in what's going on and get more active in what's happening, because everybody knows how hot we are. Everybody.
And he was also mentioning to the fact that major corporations are trying to come to Newark, such as Mars Candy. We all eat it. We all love it. You know what I'm saying? And they're bringing about 400 to 1,000 jobs with them. So,
Right.
You have to, before you condemn everything that's going on, before everybody wants to look at Newark and figure them as a stigmatized major city and everything like that, you have to look at what's really going on, and you have to hear from the person that's making it happen. And not for nothing, he has been the most transparent mayor up to date.
Facts.
I was reading something as to where they was questioning his police detail and saying that, he has 27 security guards that's on his personal detail, but they also fan out. They
Right.
protect his family, other city dignitaries, and things of that nature. But the article was reading that those particular officers that's on that detail made over $1 million in overtime. So, it's one of those things that it's a catch-22, and don't be so quick to hammer a minority mayor as you wouldn't be so subjected to raise arms and protest against a mayor that doesn't look like, the one that you know.
Well, that's the same thing that's going on with the president and all of his detail.
Well,
And you know what? For inner city mayor to feel like he had, and okay, I would be remiss if I didn't say that he has somewhat fair reason to, because of the fact that he had two men, one of which they caught one on North Broad Street just because there was a vigilant citizen that was listening to him talking to, I guess, the other guy, or even just talking out loud. There was a vigilant citizen that overheard the conversation that the man was having at the bus stop in Broad Market, and made a call. You don't know how many of these things are substantiated or unsubstantiated. You know what I'm saying?
It was a threat to kill him.
It was a threat to kill him or his mother. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
They have letters that went to his mother's house threatening to kill somebody in the family. And, at the same time, he's a public figure. He's a politician. So is he supposed to take that lightly when you're threatening somebody's family? So you can imagine
Not at all.
him on the corner would go to war for his family or whatever, just because somebody said something or somebody took somebody's scarf at school or whatever like that. But what do you think about the man?
Right.
I personally, I love the Baraka family. I
Whole
have
family.
the entire family. I have a very personal connection in that his late sister Shani Baraka was one of my educators coming up and had a major impact on my life. And her loss was a huge impact for me because I know that she affected lives, and I know what that loss meant for all of us. And again, Amiri Baraka was someone who had tremendous impact on my life as a poet and as a spoken word artist, and who I learned so much from, just bumping into him on the street sometimes and having conversations. So the Baraka family has given so much blood, sweat, and tears to the city of Newark. And I don't have any problem with anything that he's doing. I think he's a phenomenal mayor. Again, my only request is that we find a way to make sure that people like myself, people like ourselves, who have been in this struggle with this city and who have lived in this city and love this city the way that we do, still have a place in this city and still have somewhere to stay within this city and don't get priced out or pushed out of this city in the name of advancement or the name of financial uplift. And the fact of the matter is, there are still people struggling. There are still people who are trying to find a way to make ends meet and trying to make it within the city. And they love this city. They want to see the success. They love seeing the development that's going on up and down Springfield Avenue, up and down through downtown. They're as proud of him as we are, and want to continue to see that growth within the city. But is that growth going to come at the price tag of them now having to watch that development and that growth outside of the city?
Right. Well, you know, it's a double-edged sword, because it's one of those things where we ask for certain things, and are we willing to step up?
Right.
So we walk a fine line in which the things that we ask for and us actually stepping up to achieve those things collide, you know. And in 2018, because we all coming up on a new year, we stand on the precipice. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? America as a whole, you know, we have a tax bill that's clearly flatlining everybody that was born at the end of 78. At the end of 78, you know what I'm saying? This tax bill is definitely going to affect you. It's going to affect you because, not for nothing, the middle class is aging out.
Mm-hmm.
The middle class is aging out, and they're pushing us out. So, you know, for everybody that was born in mid-72 to late, I mean, you know, from mid-70s on down, you know, and they say that the 80s was lost and everything. So we're not going to cover that, right? But let's stick to the facts. For everybody that's coming of age right now, and we are the grinding years, for people that's turning 40, and for people that's in their early 40s, we are the grinding years of America. So most of us that was, and we're going to keep it on the baseline something, most of us that was robbing and selling drugs in the 90s, you're not doing that no more. And if you're doing that, you're locked up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're working now, and you have a family, and you know you've seen that second horizon in life and things like that. You know, this tax bill right here is really to wipe out that fraction of America. For the fact that middle class is going to be affected 20 years later, who do you think they wanted to affect?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, middle class America is a lot of black people that benefited off of middle class America for decades.
But I think even we got into this last time we had this conversation, in that the conversations about race in this country have to change as well, because as much as I love my people and I'm always going to big up my community and always speak towards uplifting my people, this tax bill is cutting across the board. It's not looking at shades of color. It's looking at pure dollars. It's looking at pure dollars, and it's really, and it's going right. So it's not only going to just affect us; it's affecting entire communities as a whole.
But it's affecting
and
us,
if we as an
it's affecting us as a whole, and it's benefiting people that's already been benefited.
I understand that part.
And that's the overall.
But when we separate, and these conversations when we separate ourselves from the table, we also separate ourselves away from America and make it easier for them to paint the target on our backs.
What we're separating is finance. And what we
That's
haven't-
always been
and-
separated
but see, this is the thing.
from the door.
Our white counterparts have always been educated in finance as to where we need to be. And now us as black people need to get educated in finance. And I'm not talking about minorities. I'm talking about black people.
Right.
When you talk about gentrification, we're talking about the pushing out of black people in neighborhoods where they made it the place to be. You understand what I'm saying? Because of the fact that, you know, America has benefited from slavery, our inventiveness, our culture, or just our chakra in general, it's about time that us as black people need to get real with the story. And this is and everything.
And they
what
continue
anybody
to
is saying-
benefit from that.
What anybody is saying right now will be placating to our counterparts at this point. Because in 2018, if you are 50 years old, if you are 60 years old, you've lived through the war on drugs, you've lived through Iran-Contra scandal, you've lived through the war in the desert, you've lived through 9/11, you've lived through a lot. So if you are really sitting here and saying that somebody else has a super hold on you, or you're not trying to spend your money better as your own individual, then there's something wrong with you.
And that's and
You know what
I
I'm
guess
saying?
that's
And
that's
what we
my
need to question
that's what
ourselves
right.
about what's wrong with us, what's wrong with my personal situation, what's wrong with my family situation as a collective. Because let me tell you something, our counterparts have a plan.
Let me tell you something. Just Joy from Just Joy Media has a plan.
Yeah.
Which is
Okay.
why I'm not worried about gentrification,
Yeah,
Gentry,
you
Jimmy,
can.
Right.
nobody.
You can.
The population that's going to be affected right now with this tax bill is not the population I will be in for very much longer. I'm making sure that in 2018, I am prepared to prepare my family, to prepare my side of the community, my side of the block, so we be doing better.
Right.
If this tax bill is going to obliterate the middle class, unfortunately, that's fine with me because I do not plan to remain middle class. I have to do what I need to do to get above this class, and then the class after that.
And I guess
That's the main
as the
purpose.
baby
That's what you
at
gotta do.
as the
That's
baby
what
at
I'm
the
prepared
table.
to do. Because I'm sorry to cut you
Go
off.
ahead.
One thing that struck me is you said, this conversation. I'm tired of talking. What we still talking about?
What are we still
I got nothing else to say.
Right.
I got hands, I got feet, I got things I need to do for my family. I got work that does not involve or is not affected by what other people talk about.
Okay, let me say this for the people, and I get your point. I'm here what everybody's saying, and that's it. It's my thing is this: there are always going to be a contingent of people who don't know that they don't know, and I
Right.
think that is part of the problem in the community and trying to bring the community up. Is some people just don't know that they don't know. They don't know
and
what
there
they're
are some who
missing.
don't
They don't
care
know.
to know.
There are some who don't care, but I don't think that's the larger contingent. I think if there are a whole bunch of people who don't care, it's a byproduct of maybe drugs or abuse or some other situation. It's not that they genuinely don't care. It's that they've been beat down too much, and now they just don't see how to
But
care.
that's what that's the one thing that I guess I'm trying to stress. Like I said, as the baby at the table, as the 85, 32-year-old at the table who is sitting in classrooms, who is conversing with young people who at this point literally don't give a damn and it's nowhere near in their spectrum to understand what's happened to them. There are many of us who will grow past this, who will get past this. Many of my elders will get through this, get past this, because that's what we've always done. That's what they've always done. I've been blessed that I was raised up and brought up by people who really passed that on to me and taught me how to persevere in that vein. But there is a whole segment of young people being born every day that are out there living every day, all of these 90s babies. That's why when they say, the 80s was lost, I say all of these kids born in the 90s, early 2000s have no aspiration for community, for self-awareness, for building wealth, for intergenerational
I'm
wealth.
have to jump in on that. I'm gonna have to jump in on that.
I'm not seeing it with my own people.
We dropped the ball as a collective. You can't say that babies are lost because at the end of the day, somebody has to be there to guide them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't say that they dropped the ball. You know, what's happening moreover is that, and we're gonna say, oh yeah, grandma's raising little Raheem and this and that. No, we have dropped the ball as a collective. You know what I'm saying? We have dropped the ball as a collective. And because we have no real black leadership, it's what's making us even looking more crazy out.
I disagree with you, Brooke Jersey. Let me tell you why.
I think that leadership starts at home.
We have all types of good black leadership.
No, we don't.
We have all types of good black leadership.
I would say name
What
your
we
top
still,
three. I would say name your top three. Name your top three black leaders.
Newark Mayor Ras Baraka, Westwood Councilman Joe McCullum, and Assemblyman Jamel Holly.
Secular.
Okay. Bishop Yvette Flunder, Pastor Kevin Taylor, Pastor Vanessa.
Secular.
Those are religious. But at the end of the day, I have seen in 2017 plenty of people who are out here working hard.
And
what we still struggle to have though is unity. Because all these leaders are leading their own small populations in all types of places. We still struggle with the unity. But I want to give these people credit because there are lots of good leaders, young people all over. Shout out to all the leaders.
Especially the young people and especially the young people who started this BLM movement, who have had a major impact, I feel, more than nationally, internationally. The Black Lives Matter movement is truly a representation of what can happen when you have young people who are invested and geared in and who do not allow other generations to tell them what they can do and what they can't do. They have emerged as a voice and a presence that is to be feared by people because they know that they can affect change.
When they got questioned with their platform and what they wanted to come with, they had nothing constructive to say. And this is the point what I'm getting at right now. The point what I'm getting at right now is that, I'm going to keep it on the recent term so everybody can understand what I'm saying, right? You recently heard that the Carolina Panthers owner is going to step down because of sexual allegations and racism.
Right. I've heard about that.
You recently heard that P. Diddy raised his hand and said, oh, I'll be the new owner and you know the team is going to be great. And you know what his platform was? His platform was getting Colin Kaepernick a job and having the best halftime shows on earth. My team is going to love me. So what you going to give them? A brothel in their locker room? What you going to give them? You understand what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if you want power as black people, we have to just get power. We don't have to say we want power. You have to get it first and say I have the power.
I feel like Puff felt like he had the power enough to say, if the NFL won't give my man a job, I got him.
You know what?
That's power.
You know what?
That's not. You know I'm gonna hire him at White Castle because I'm the manager. I'm willing to and have the power to really even raise. You have to feel powerful to even raise your hand to say I'ma do it.
I'm sorry.
Hold up. We can't all talk. We can't all talk at the same time.
P. Diddy just pisses me off, or Brother Love, or whatever the fuck he want to call himself at this moment, because this is the shit that disgusts me, and this is precisely what I'm talking about. I'm tired of caricatures. I'm tired of people stepping up and being complete asses out of themselves. Colin Kaepernick is probably one of the few brothers that I will honestly say right now that stepped up as a true leader and sacrificed himself within his own self. But then it's more than just those one institutions. What are we doing for what is being fed to our children.
Well,
What about the culture that these kids are taking up and yoking up and buying up? They are constantly being sold sex, drugs, and rock and roll and being told that's the way of life, to the point where they no longer think about education or anything else. They wake up in the morning thinking about what pill they're going to take, what bottle of lean they're going to drink, or what girl they're going to screw, get pregnant, and leave to raise another little bastard that's going to do the same thing. And that's my problem right now. What are we doing to affect that situation?
Okay. Let me first of all, let me say shout outs to everybody, because Colin Kaepernick is not doing nothing new that hasn't been done in the sports genre.
I believe it.
I want to say shout outs to Jesse Owens.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say
Shout out.
Can I get a clap real quick?
Shout out to Muhammad Ali.
I want to say shout outs to Muhammad Ali. I want to say shout outs to the three brothers in the Olympic Stadium. I want to say before I make my
Right.
I want to say shout outs to Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. And if you don't know who Mahmoud Abdul Rauf is, he was the first Colin Kaepernick. I'm going to say look it up, right? What I'm going to say to you is Colin Kaepernick's struggle isn't new. What I want to say to you is, if Colin Kaepernick was winning games for San Francisco when he did all of that shit, excuse my language, we wouldn't be having this conversation. You understand what I'm saying? The NBA, the NFL, the MLB, the Alphabet Boys, if you want to call them that, it's a business. And what we need to do as black people is separate the business from the personal. Now, his struggle was personal, as it was to all of us. But because he has a national platform, he put it instantly.
So how we got a problem with Puffy having the business to be able to buy the Panthers?
No, we're not having a problem with
What the problem
Puffy
is? What the
having
problem
a
is?
business to buy it.
What the problem is?
The problem is that if Puffy's gonna buy it, he's gonna have to fork up his life savings
So what?
to buy that.
So what?
Is he committed to doing that? No, he's not.
He
No,
So
nobody
why,
else.
right?
Nobody
But
else.
and that's
raised their
and that's
hand.
fine,
Nobody has
and that's fine. But
But
my problem is, why are we allowing the
That is
caricature?
behind Puffy.
Why?
Those white men, because Bad Boy and Sean John is not buying Puffy. But guess, they're not buying the Panthers. They're not buying. Sean John and Bad Boy is not buying the Carolina Panthers.
Okay.
Let us be clear. You understand what I'm saying? But what he did do is make a lot of money with those people that had Ciroc. And they're gonna buy the Carolina Panthers.
And that
So
is all good.
because no, it's not well and good.
Because
if you're saying I want to be the owner, you understand what I'm saying? And keep it clear. If you're gonna buy something, you buy your sneakers at the store. Do you buy it with 2 or 3 other people?
No.
Right. You buy your sneakers for yourself, right? So think of the Carolina Panthers as a pair of Jordans, because black people like Jordans, right? So think of Carolina Panthers as a pair of Jordans. When you go to the store to buy your Jordans, is DVS gonna wear it? Is Just Joy gonna wear it? Puffy may be able to buy the team by himself, but we don't know how much the team is worth, and we don't know how much the owner is going to charge for it. All we know.
How about we
is that
don't
he's gonna
know?
sell it.
We don't know
But
if
for
Puffy is
him
going to be
say- for him
successful.
to say
We don't
that
know if
all he
Puffy
had
is
to
going to do
was
what
say,
no one else
"I'm
has
interested
even
in
offered to
buying
do.
the Carolina. My statement is, and my point is, if we want to do something powerful, all we have to do is say it and drop the mic. Whatever happens.
But
after
why
that-
We
even
don't have
say it if you're not serious?
Hold
And
on.
this is my problem with the
This
problem with the
just-
caricature of the whole BS. What's the point of sitting out here and saying, "Oh, I'm gonna have fab halftime shows and I'm gonna make sure they love me"? Ooh, boogie, boogie, boogie.
And
If
that's
you're all,
my
if all
point.
you're being is a caricature, because again, this is what's being fed. And it's the same thing, like I said, with little 44 and a half there. You get out here and you make these grand statements and you do all of these things because right now we are in a time where everybody has a 20-second attention span. They tune in to see what you say, and they believe it. Whether there's truth to it or not, they believe it. Maybe a good 5% of us go home and research, invest, and go, okay, his net worth is $800 million. Let's see if he has the potential.
Right here. I can tell
right, you know what I mean?
100%
Let's take a look and see if these numbers add up.
We don't even wait till we go home. I'm gonna Google right then and there, like you said. What now? Oh, all right.
But then you have a large group of people who look at the press release and go, Puffy gonna buy the Panthers. Puffy gonna. I'm not interested in the Negro becoming a new slave owner in this institution. I don't think the NFL and as a whole is doing what it has to do properly for the people that play for it. I don't think that the players or anybody else who are participating in that entire institution are receiving the just due that they need to receive. My problem is, Negro, you want me to sit here and be excited about you buying a freaking football team. Meanwhile, you got kids who are sitting here in the street who can't get decent books in their schools, who are still going to schools with failing infrastructure, and I can't get your ass to make the community wake up to take something seriously. At least when Jay dropped the album, he put some lyrics in there to say to your ass, look, if you're going to buy this CD, at least let me try to educate you a bit or two on a track or three so that you can try to change your mentality, try to change what you're thinking about. I don't see enough of our community sitting there and trying to drop.
We still hit Cardi B on the radio.
Right.
Shout outs to Cardi B, my favorite person in 2017. I don't give a fuck how nobody feel about it.
All of those Jews.
Shout out to Barty Gang all day.
But you can't knock Cardi because
you better not.
You can't knock Cardi because let's get one thing straight. This is a sister who brought herself off of a pole,
all the way up,
all
the way up,
fixed the way we down the paycheck and everything else, and she's truly in a way that no other female artist, I believe, has done. She is truly owning her sexuality and truly trying to teach younger females and females in her own class the ability and the empowerment of owning your own ability in the way that it's supposed to be done. Stop allowing other people to tell you what's right and what's wrong when you express your sexuality. If Cardi B was a male, we would not have this conversation. If Cardi B had a penis, we would not be having this conversation in any shape, form, fashion.
I'm hearing a lot of that in the music.
Hearing what?
You're not
hearing what?
Hearing her saying, use who you are as the power. You're not hearing that.
Yes, you are.
Absolutely.
You got to pay closer attention.
Absolutely.
I'm going to tell you what the problem is.
Okay.
You have to listen to one second, Brooke Jers.
Go ahead.
You have to listen to the language. She may not be speaking a language that you can understand when it comes to using power. And unfortunately, I just had this conversation with somebody on Facebook. Everybody freaking out about fuck for me and get some money. Fuck with me and get some money, right? Fuck him, then I get some money, right? Everybody having a problem with that. First of all, I'm not condoning none of this, but let's just start with sex work is not new. Mm-hmm. Let's just start with the fact that this girl knows how to get what she needs. And unfortunately, this is one of the coping mechanisms that she has to survive. Like so many other young ladies that we know. Mm-hmm. I said on Facebook, I know teenage girls that fuck for weed, they fuck for Uggs, they fuck for Chicken Shack, they fuck for somewhere to stay at night. Right. So at the end of the day, she's speaking their language, whether we like it or not. These young people, and I'm not, again, please understand, I'm not telling nobody to do nothing Cardi B telling them to do or saying that she's done. But at the end of the day, we teach women to pull themselves up from their bootstraps, not using their strap. I'm talking about.
I want to hear the empowerment and all that.
But listen, Cardi B is not your empowerment rapper. Listen to somebody else for that. Hip hop can still be inclusive. Everybody don't have to be trying to wake people up.
And I don't even necessarily think. No, I think the empowerment comes in this. For too long, we have shamed sex work in this country while people enjoy it grandiously. Men
never went out of business.
I'm telling you right now, you can go to King of Diamonds and watch them drop thousands and millions in a night. So brothers don't have a problem with spending the money and objectifying and taking advantage of these sisters that are out there doing it. But we have a problem if these women step up and say, hey, I want to get health benefits for the fact that I'm dropping up and down off this damn pole in the splits every other night, messing up my joints and shit just so that you can throw $10 at me.
All right.
That should be covered in such a way.
Hold up, let me ask this question.
But now how can we take them seriously or allow them to be unionized if we're still demonizing them for even being sexual?
Hold on, let me ask this question because this is I need to understand this, and I understand what y'all are saying about Cardi B on both sides. My question is this: are we saying that she is a role model for what you want your kids to become? Is that what we're saying?
Yes. Yes. I want my child to know that you will have to do things that you don't like to get what you want to have. I'm not saying sell your body. I'm not saying what you're doing with your time. But at the end of the day, Cardi B may not have ever wanted to be on no pole. But while you can't convince some people to get up and go down to check on their welfare, she made decisions that may have affected her self-esteem, her body, self-image. This girl knew or figured like she knew what she needed to do to feed herself, feed her family. So yeah, there are some things about Cardi that need to be respected. This girl got herself up from the bottom. Whether she got
and
talent
that choice
or not,
should be
she
respected.
got money. Whether she got talent or not, she got paid.
And that choice should be respected.
Her lyrics, she got money. Whether you like what she used
Prostitution
to do for a living, she got a man. Come on now.
Prostitution is one of the oldest, and prostitution.
Don't matter.
It don't matter. That's
Look how quick
that's
she
her
got
right.
them. You got 55-year-old women out here working for Prudential. Can't get a man to say they life.
Like I said,
Cardi B got a man that could have any woman he want, and he chose her.
Ain't nobody like them.
Guess what? Ain't nobody put no 8,000 carat ring on their ass.
But I'm just saying this.
Hold up.
Prostitution is one of the oldest form of employments in this country. There have been prostitutes in the world. Prostitutes have been around since concubines, been since the beginning of time. So to sit here and to continue to tell girls that they should be ashamed of themselves if they find themselves in that position is wrong.
That's not what I'm talking. Hold on. That's not what I'm asking.
I will say that.
But
I will say that.
Here's my question. I'm not saying if you find yourself in that position, because I understand there's a difference in if you find yourself in that position as opposed to I'm going to set out to do X, Y, and Z. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, and I'm gonna tell you why.
You don't understand, or you don't agree.
I don't understand.
Okay, what I'm asking is, do you, I understand that there are some young women who, due to their circumstances, they might have to do whatever it is they have to do to get money. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is making a conscious decision. Oh, I do have a college education, but I would much rather.
What about this? What about a wife in Virginia, right? She made good money. Her husband made good money. Valentine's Day coming up. She's seen this watch she want. She gonna fuck her husband and get some money. It's wives out here that use their sex, use their bodies to get money and things from their husbands. Mm-hmm. So what the problem is?
No,
but guess what? But and I understand that that's different than what you're saying that these young ladies are having to do. But at the end of the day, every time a chick fuck her husband and get some money, that nigga, her friends clapping for her.
So is this what I'm
gonna put it on his ass? I want this car. I need $25. I want my hair done.
Hold on.
Maybe I come from a different world as a person who's worked in strip clubs, as a person who has done this kind of engagement.
We went completely left for some reason. I don't understand what happened.
That is typically what happens.
It is. But my thing is this, and again, I need somebody to answer this question for me. Is this what we're telling young women to do? No. Basically, is the bottom line.
No one is telling, and I will completely give you ground. I just want to say this one piece. I completely understand coming from a position where you feel as though this is not an acceptable profession or something that you would want your child or to want to tell any child to grow up and to invest in. However, we have to be real and be very real about the fact that there are some people who grow up and believe and convince themselves that they have no other option but to enter this line of work, to enter sex work, to do this kind of profession. You even have some who genuinely enjoy it. Like I said, I've worked in strip clubs. You have some who are educated. I have seen sisters with degrees who are counting the dollars, who are making the investments, who are going home to how these Atlanta girls that y'all see working these poles, these girls in Miami that are making this money, go home to very nice communities. Some of them gated. It is not a level of ignorance that is driving them. It is the bottom line that you should have the right to be in control of your body. You should have the right to be in control of your sexuality, and you should not be demonized, or you should not be demonized, and you should not be criticized for making the decision that you think that sex work is the profession for you.
All right, that wasn't the question that I was.
Where is that in Cardi's hit song Bodak Yellow? You understand what I'm saying? Because all she's talking about is red bottoms and how she could dead people and put them up and hook them up, or she could pick them up and drop them whenever she wants to, and how she's a boss bitch. But she's not saying the struggle at the same time. She's not telling people the sacrifices that she has to make, and that's the gangles of being an artist. Because at the same time as you willing to display Picasso, you have to display the gutter artist that had to get to Picasso. You understand what I'm saying? Because being on the radio and being heard thousands of... Because let me tell you something.
Have you heard Cardi's new single?
You know what? I've heard it. I've heard it, but I haven't taken the time to listen. You want to know why?
No.
Because like most people that listen to music for real, they're turned off by these expensive, these is red bottoms, these is bloody shoes. They're turned off by that. They haven't heard anything of substance from, because that's not her first hit single.
And that's fine.
You know what I'm saying? Listen to what I'm saying. That's not her first hit single. She had her first hit single before she went on Love and Hip Hop. That's why she was like, when you have beef with me, you have it forever. Because that was off of her hit single. But it wasn't as big as Red Bottoms and Bloody Shoes. Right? Forget all that. The thing about it is, and I'm gonna say this, she's not talking about the other side. You want to know why? Meek Mills wasn't doing nothing different than what he's been doing. He been riding willies. He been on his ATV. He been wilding out. Hell, shit. Him and his people beat up fucking Safari. Excuse my language. They beat up Safari on the MTV Awards, Soul Train Awards, or something. They beat him up backstage. So he been wilding. You understand what I'm saying? He been sending it. You want to know why he's locked up right now? Go get his new album. And because he's building on another level where he's communicating with the brothers on the street and brothers trying to make it and brothers that's already successful and how to keep it and or don't be dumbed down by these chicks that's coming at you. Because he's doing that and he's kicking it on multiple stages in one album is why they will lock his ass.
So I'm supposed to respect him. So I'm supposed to respect him because he has one album where he decided to actually speak some truth. Meanwhile,
No.
I'm supposed to condemn her for following the business for following the business model that every other male artist who is out here producing music and succeeding with saying the same shit. And that's my but that's
acceptable for black people or for us as a people to condone bullshit and not hold these artists accountable.
Which is what I've been saying from the beginning.
She can talk about whatever she wants to talk about. Cool. But show the flip side. Show that when you fuck this.
And if
My
no,
bad.
what I'm saying,
Yes,
My bad.
we get
show that when you fuck this corny dude for a lump sum for $1,500, he might not even last you 20 minutes. You might have sucked his dick and got $1,500. But talk about the mental side of it, how you felt after you did that, because she didn't feel good.
Okay, but look. Okay.
But what if
so
she
if you
did?
wanna
Hold on.
hear The
Most likely she did.
No,
Hold
that's your position.
If she wasn't
Brother.
attractive,
No, but that's
she
your
did.
position.
Brothers,
Okay.
go ahead, Joy.
So I understand that Cardi might not be giving you that ethereal, incense burning, backpack, natural hair vibe in her music.
Thank you, Shanta. Shanta made a great point that
I
I want to bring up.
understand that she may not be speaking the language, the King's English. I understand that her resume may not be one that we like to read. But at the end
I love
of the
to read.
day, I will never condemn a sister who got her whole family out of poverty in 1 year. On Bodak Yellow, she said, I pay my mama bills.
Thank
I
you.
ain't got
That's-
no time to chill.
Right. I got a bag
don't
and fix
know.
my teeth. I hope y'all
I
know
hope
that
y'all
this
know
shit
it
ain't
ain't
cheap. Thank you.
3 mixtapes in 6 months? Who working as hard as her? Only Beyonce. At the end of the day, no matter how you feel about Cardi B and whether or not how she got her husband and what she had to do, she met a man that wanted her so bad, he put a big old ring on it in front of everybody. He could have any woman he want, and he chose her. So there's something about who she is and who she was before we knew her that this man wanted her.
And
So I'm not going to condemn a woman for finding a man. Ain't that what we tell them? You're going to get a husband. The Lord going to bless you with a. Why we can't just be celebrating a whole year's worth that we were able to witness from, like you said, her first hit, her first love of hip hop. A queen raised herself.
I'm fully invested in all of that.
I'm not looking for nothing deep from Cardi. I promise
I'm
you.
not.
I can go to somebody else for my deepness, but when I get in my car, guess what I want to do? In my bloody shoes. That's all I need from her.
But it's not even. My point is not even the entire basis of that. My point is what you just said. That after she did that, she didn't feel right about herself. That's a you statement. No, let me finish because I gave you plenty of space. Please let me finish. I gave you plenty of space. Please, I gave you plenty of space. Please let me finish.
Say it right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I gave you plenty of space. Please let me finish. The idea that somebody should be ashamed of doing something because it's implied. It's implied that there should be some kind of mental degradation, or there should be some kind of. So what do you mean she's not sharing the mental pain that went along that? Did you not say that?
I said that she should tell the flip side because she's only rapping about the
right.
upside.
But this is again. So I'm going to say this again. You're creating a flip for her. There may not be a flip side. Let me finish, because you're saying that she's not saying that, and that's exactly what she's saying. When she makes another track to follow up Bodak Yellow, and she say, "Fuck him, this I get some money." She's consciously telling you, "I'm okay with making the decision to use my body to get where I'm going." She doesn't have a problem with it. You're the one sitting here critiquing her for that. And again, let me finish making my point.
We haven't heard
Again, you can't talk and listen at the same time. This is my issue with breeders.
I hear you.
Okay? Now, the fact of the matter is, there are some people in this country, porn stars are another prime example. There are some people in this country, and there are some people that exist in this reality, in this world, and I need to make this very clear, that are okay with using sex to get financial benefits, to get wherever they want to get in life, to do that. That's what it lights their day up. Exactly. Stripping, dropping off poles, doing everything that she did, and everything that she's glorifying, and every bit of the music that she produces was a job that she chose, and a job that she enjoyed, and a job that she is reflecting on. The same way when you get artists like Big, the same way like you get artists, same way that you get artists like Biggie, Pac, and everybody else, Jay-Z and the umpteenth nine, who get out here and celebrate when they was outside in the streets selling coke, selling drugs, robbing, sticking niggas up. They sit there and celebrate what they did with it, and they don't come out here and tell these young niggas the other side of it. They don't sit out here and tell these. No, they do not. They do not. Because if they did, we wouldn't have so many of them out here celebrating it right now. So the fact that you have a woman and a Dominican sister who may not speak the best of English, who is sitting out here saying, "I'm proud to use my pussy to bring myself up and pull my family out of it. I can comfortably pay my mother, and now I may have to clap some ass, but if I had to, I know exactly how to get it, and this is what I did," has to be respected.
Pause. Final statement.
That was nice.
Thank you so much, 2017. You don't owe me nothing. I appreciate everybody that tuned in to Just Joy Media and Megastar Radio, the Freedom Team, all year. Special shout outs include the Honorable Mayor Raz Baraka, my mom, my Aunt Brenda, Shaquana, my pastor, all the deacons at Rivers of Living Waters. Shout out to the boss workers, Tanya Velch, Shinoki, Big Reef. How many seconds I got?
How many more you need?
I need like 15 because I got so many people to thank. Thank you, Jennifer Edwards. Thank you, Tashira Icon Don. Thank you so much for everything. Jamila, my cutie, you already know we've been out here all year. Thank you to all the celebrities who let me creep up on them and take the pictures and had the interviews. And that's it. Just Joy Media 2018. We taking it. We bagged up all year. Shout out to Cardi B.
Boom. Go ahead, Brooke Jerry's final thought.
Hey, yo, what I want to say is thank you to everybody in the hood that been listening to GSR Radio. You know what I'm saying? I want to say thank you to everybody that been listening to Megastar, Just Joy Media, yo, really lighting up the block. I want to say thank you to her for the rip. You know what I mean? We stay busy. You know what I mean? The phone stay blinking. Listen,
Always working.
I want to say thank you to my team, man. Just Joy, DVS, you know what I mean? Lashae, you know what I'm saying? I want to do to everybody, you feel me? This is what we do. You know, we love what we do. We hope we inspire you with every time we touch down and we put the hammer on these airways. We hope that we inspire you. We want you to be out in your communities and be vigilant. So that way, when we talk to you, we tell you about something that you were thinking about, then that means you need to act on it, because mind attract mind, you know? And at the end of the day, it don't matter what your preference is, it don't matter what your skin color is, it's just about wanting to be treated as equal and being fair, you know what I mean? A lot of things is not being done fairly, and us as a collective, as a human race, we need to recognize that. I love y'all. I want to say shout out to my team. 2018 gonna be great. By Arrow Cloud. It's a good look when you see it. Word up.
Boom. Go ahead, Lashae.
Y'all know I'm a small production. I don't have all these beautiful teams to thank. So I definitely want to thank DVS and Tanya Champagne for inviting me here and giving me this platform every third Friday to just be a small person who is now being heard internationally and continentally, and it's just it really means a big thing for me. It really means a big thing. 189 countries, and I want to thank all of you in all 189 countries who have showed us love and who have shown me love and shown me support. I want to thank Sister Joy. I want to thank my brother who truly challenged me to be my best self and truly challenged me to come correct with when I'm standing for my platforms and the things that I believe in. And I want to thank God for this mouth and this brain and this body and this passion and this fever and the ability to share it and to encourage others to share their light. I truly believe when you shine brightly, you give others the permission to do the same. So with that said, I want to thank my family. I want to thank my two loving nephews, Cameron and Jaden. I love you. I best for them. I wish the best for everybody in 2018. I want to thank the love of my life, my heart. You know who you are. I know you don't like public attention, so I'm not going to throw you out there. But my honey bunny, he's really made moves in my life and really pulled me into a new place and shifted me. And I just want to continue to make sure that we're all seeking love, growth, and knowledge in this world. Do not ever stop trying to learn. Do not ever stop trying to love. It is the only way to defeat the hate that is being spread throughout this world. So that's what I have for you all, and thank you for tuning in.
All right. I just want to shout out to everybody who, yes, Naeem, I love the passion too. I want to shout out to all of you guys. I appreciate every last one of you who share the video. Share the fucking video. I thank you all for tuning in and watching us all watching us all year, for when we were on the radio, for calling in, and just everything that you guys do, because we do it for you. Now again, I do have to mention, it's a weird thing that we get more love abroad than we get at home. I don't understand why that is. We do thousands and thousands internationally, and here, I don't understand it. But for those of you who rock with us, I really, really do appreciate each and every one of you. I hope that next year was going to be amazing, but I'll say all of that because I do have one final show. But I did want to bring these fabulous people, some of the people who they are the reason why I do this as well, because I love having this free exchange of ideas right here on this platform. You have no idea how much that means to me. I don't care what is said, we still right here by the time it's over, because we understand that these ideas need to be talked about. We need to encourage people to start thinking for themselves and to start getting involved in their community and not being afraid to not being afraid to absorb information and use it in your life to empower you, your family, your community. Don't be afraid. It is okay. We got you. We right here with you. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. That's right. We got us. You know what I mean? So for all of you who who watch and everything like that, I love each and every one of you. I thank you. Just Joy, Lashae, Brooke Jers, my dudes, Tanya Champagne. Listen, everybody get some right here.
Everybody give her some love.
Boom.
Word up.
Give her some love.
She is truly the hardest working woman ever. Like, y'all hear her say things like, not only do she do this, she manages production companies and new artists, and she does the Vailsburg Park situation, bringing organization and community events to Vailsburg Park. She's a certified fucking mechanic, which I think is amazing. Like, she is just the bomb. She's always everywhere.
I got the headlight out right now. What's
She always everywhere trying to, make sure everybody is okay and, always being involved in community events. But in 2018, the people that support you, you need to support them back is what I'm going to say.
Absolutely.
You got to support the people who support you. You know what I mean? So that's what we're going to be doing for 2018. It's follow back. You follow us, we follow you back.
All right.
You get down with us, we're going to get down with you.
All
and
right.
that's how we're going to make this happen. You know what I mean? We are not going to be in this same place next year. So either you come in with us or you going to be tuning into us. It's going to be, your situation.
All right.
So we are out of here. Once again, I thank you guys for joining me. It has been a wonderful Devious Friday. The last one right here with the Freedom Team and Hot Tea, my dudes. So we about to get out of here. Next week we still got one more show, and this is strictly for my LGBT community. Well, not strictly, but for my artists and LGBT community.
The Temple of Shishi Fufu is strong.
It's gonna be a good show. So if you hold up. If you guys have not watched, I think the show is called the Triangle.
Yes.
On not Netflix, on YouTube.
Yes.
Start watching that, and I think there's another show called The Davenports, and I think it's from Ballroom
YouTube
TV.
is doing big things now.
I'm telling you, get into Terrell and Christina. Because they are going to be here.
It's not the Triangle.
Yeah.
It's just called straight up Triangle. But I'm going to correct you on your own show.
They are going to. It's okay. Look, I take direction.
Yes.
It is okay. So he's going to be here next week, and Christina said that she's going to come too. So we're gonna do that. That's how we're going to plan out this year. All right, 189 countries, baby. Who doing that? Who doing that? GS Radio North, goddamn. So. We are out of here. Shout out to Ustream. Shout out to GS Radio North. Shout out to the Champagne Room. Shout out to everybody watching us on Soul Journeys. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. We are out of here. Thank you.